Do it.
I don't know what to say, really. 3 minutes to the biggest battle of our professional lives. All comes down to today. Either we heal as a team, or we're going to crumble. Inch by inch, play by play.
Whew. What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally, and I mean literally, does not work. I have been trying to find something positive on this thing. I've been sitting there thinking that there's a plan here or something, and I just can't seem to figure it out other than we're just kind of doing a partial implosion. So I was talking to the mailman, and I was hoping that he could deliver me some good news. Game time, Brian. Game time. You know what? Actually, you know what? There is great news. Your channel is growing in leaps and bounds.
Yeah, man, we're doing good. We're well over the 2,700 mark.
You know what you have to do in life, right?
What's that?
You have to first believe that something can happen and put it out to the universe.
Mm-hmm.
You remember a couple
I
days,
believe.
You remember a couple days ago, we were talking about, the goal of 2,500.
Yeah.
For you, right?
Yes, we were.
And, before draft. And then I said, maybe we need to look at 3,000. And what did you say? What did you say?
It's not exactly. Yeah, you said 3,000. Ooh, that's a tough goal. That's a tough one. Well, I'm right there, man. I'm only a couple hundred away from there right now. A little 250, 240.
Bro.
So, yeah, man, we are rolling.
I'm going to put something else out to the universe. I got 5 on it. How about 5 before the draft?
And I'm going to do what I got to do, Mark. I can only hope that the people like it and start,
I tell you what,
I'm on a
like,
little bit of a roll right now, so I can't. I got to keep rolling here. I'm off tomorrow. We're going to roll. We're going to put out some content.
Misery loves company, and people love it when the Cowboys are having drama, and we are so drama-filled right now. So we've changed things, a little bit of a look here on the channel. Let me know how you guys feel. We put up another monitor, so Brian is kind of like a leprechaun.
I'm looking at you.
He's kind of small there on the side there, but he's like right there.
Pause.
And then I got this big head and this. Oh my God! Look at his hands; they're so big. So let me know if you like this format or not. Okay. So Brian.
Yes, sir.
At first, I was like, okay, most of the guys, Dorrance Armstrong, I'm not paying $15 million for, and we know Neville Gallimore hasn't been the same since he hyperextended his elbow. Dante Fowler, people said he was coming off the scrap heap when he came here, and I think you could find a Dante Fowler. But the last couple of ones that we've lost have been kind of like, wait a minute, what's going on here? And I know people have said we need to get rid of Tyron Smith for a long time. And the reality is Tyron Smith has averaged 7.5 games a season over the last 4 years. Now, granted, last year was 13, but then he had a 2 and a 4 that's mixed in there. So it hasn't been good. But then Hankins is the one that I kind of look at and say, he was always okay with signing a 1-year deal for chump change. You're telling me you couldn't sign him?
They didn't want to sign him. After looking into it, Hankins was not the player last year that he was the year prior. Again, he's a guy that I wanted back. Why? Because he's a run stuffer. Yeah. He doesn't do much else. The year before, he actually gave you more. Last year was more of a leveling out, and I argue that Pro Football Focus had believe it or not had a higher grade with Mozzie Smith stopping the run than Hankins last year. So on the surface, I'm like, I wanted Hankins back. I still want him back. I like the man, Big
Yeah,
Hank.
he ain't coming back
But when
now.
you look into it, and you look into, we couldn't stop the run in the playoffs with Hankins there. I guess this is part of their cleaning house. Neville Gallimore, Hankins. It. I understand what everybody's got. Listen, we're not dumb, okay? And neither are the Cowboys. We see that. Okay, we're losing this guy, we're losing that guy, we're losing this guy. There's holes to fill. I get it, but it's also an exciting time too. And I say that, Mark, for this reason and reason only.
Mm-hmm.
You said you got to believe in yourself, and at least I thought that's what you said, but like in regards to me, these young guys need to play. Okay,
Oh, that's true.
Dorrance Armstrong. I am happy, Dorrance, if you're watching this stream, and you might be. Mark Holmes is a big enough. You figure this may come across your eyes. I appreciate everything you did with the Cowboys, and I am glad that you got the bag. Pause. Now we're going to leave it there. Dorrance, you can go back and you work out. And, good luck to you, except when you play the Cowboys. Now I'm talking to Mark Holmes. You are not worth $15 million a year.
Agree.
Now you are worth what someone's willing to pay you. This is why me and Mark talked about that. And I told him, I said, all this money was exciting, right? We all thought it was exciting to get this salary cap that was so high. But what that did was gave all these teams stupid money, and they're spending stupid money. And $15 million for a rotational pressure player? I can't do that. So again, I'm fine. There's a lot that needs to be done, but sitting here, as we film this on March 20th, there's a lot of time to go. We can't just look at the draft and go, oh my God, we got 9 holes, but we only have 7 draft picks. Well, oh my God, what are we going to do?
All right. So I think you were telling me that, I think it was you I was talking to, that on one of the shows they were talking about, people are going crazy on the talking heads about, we're not filling any spaces. And they're basically going through and they're talking about, we've got the draft, right? To fill in the holes. Okay, so we have our first, which is 24. And then we have our second, which is 24, and I don't know, it's 50-something. And then like 68 or something like that. We don't have a fourth. We've got 1/5, 2 6s, and a 7.
Yes, 2 6s and a 7. We have 7 picks,
so we have
I believe,
7
right?
picks. So in a perfect world, they're thinking that we're going to be able to find 7 starters in the draft.
Yeah.
And then I was seeing, I think it was Brian Broda saying that, the Cowboys are great at undrafted rookie free agents. And I'm kind of like, now you're selling me some bullshit. See, when I look at the draft, I say, if you can get 1 impact player and 2 starters and some depth, you're ahead of the game.
Yes.
And a special team standout. That's on a really good draft. Now, Dallas, let's go back here for a second. Dallas Cowboys draft 2020. Who did we draft? Okay. We got CeeDee Lamb, which was great. Okay, but CeeDee Lamb, his first year, how good was it?
What did he have? 900 yards,
Yeah.
I think, maybe something like that.
Right.
I think it was pretty good.
CeeDee Lamb, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So, we're going to be asking rookie defensive linemen to come there with who around them?
What do you mean? Explain that.
You are better. You're better if you have people around you. So, like, let's say,
yes.
Let's say you end up taking Mozzie and put him out. Tyler, and putting him out at left tackle, and now you
Right.
end up having, let's say hypothetically, you got a rookie or a brand new starter at guard and center. That's a lot harder than if you are, just a center with Tyron Smith and Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith and Zach Martin. There's too many damn Smiths on our team.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so you know what I'm saying? It's a lot easier when you have good
Yeah.
people around you. But if you're
Yes.
the only one out there, then you get exposed because you don't have that experienced person around you. So let's look at our defensive front. The only one I think that's left right now is Micah and Osa and Digazua.
Oh, yeah, we got Micah, we got Osa,
Yeah.
we got
That have experience. Oh, we do
we
have Sam.
got,
Okay, well, D-Law.
well,
and
we got
Sam
D-Law, we
Williams,
got
but those
Sam
are edge
Williams, we
rushers.
got yeah, I know, we got Golston. Who I always loved Golston. I think Dan Quinn did him a disservice by playing him. He should be an edge rusher. Listen, I'm going to throw out names here that you may not be excited about, but Junior Fajoko, who was drafted in the 4th round last year, was hurt all year. Again, looking back at last year's draft, and I've been ultra critical of it. I believe that it's going to be better than what people think. Mozzie Smith is going to be fine, people.
Ow!
Yeah, I believe he's going to be fine. He's putting the
Jerry
weight back
Jones
on.
is the devil.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So wait a minute. I think I hear what you're trying to say. I think what you're trying to say is Stephen Jones believes in our backup players. Is that what you're trying to tell me? That we're going to be getting almost like free agent signings by getting Diggs back and Overshown.
Fajoko.
Okay.
Yes. Well,
Okay.
listen, we got Anthony Barr. No, I'm not hyping up Anthony Barr.
Anthony Barr. What are you talking about,
saying,
Anthony
we-
Barr? Anthony
We
Barr.
got Anthony Barr a couple years ago after the draft.
Oh,
What
I
I'm
thought you
saying is
mean we're
once
getting
the
him
draft
back.
is
We're
over,
not bringing him back, are we?
once the draft is over, there are plenty of guys. The landscape has changed now, people. If you notice, a lot of this money is fake money. It's all about the guarantees, and a lot of these contracts that you're seeing are 1-year deals with void years added on. Now, a lot of these running backs are not going to sign now. And a lot of these veterans will not sign at this point with the
who's
club
left?
until after the draft because they don't want to be a training camp casualty. They'd rather wait till the draft goes over. There's a crap ton of free agents still out there. We're not going to not have enough people to field a team. They're not that dumb. They just wanted to get rid of part of the problem. We're not going to. Who did we lose? You say we lost 2 people. I will.
2 people.
I wanted Hankins back. Well, you said that we've lost the last couple hurt. Okay, everybody else. Hankins was the only guy that we haven't brought back.
He's our only 300-pounder.
I understand.
The
Well,
overweight
no.
lover
Mozzie's
in the
probably
house.
about 302 right
the
now.
Overweight lovers
He's
in
eating.
the house.
I just feel like I do. I feel like that we're going to be fine. Hankins wasn't the guy he was the year before. Now, if you're telling me Gilmore is gone, which I'm a little more worried about that. We need Gilmore back. Yeah. What's that stuff called again?
What's that? Zaya
What you're
Rose?
drinking. Zaya, that's right.
Okay. Apparently, you're drinking Kool-Aid. Okay. The Cowboys Kool-Aid.
Actually, I'm drinking a little decaf coffee. It's
Okay.
actually chilly out here.
Oh, it was 62, but we've got wind
I had
gusts.
shorts on, but I was freezing today.
It was listen. It is so windy. I swear, I feel the brick walls moving in this house.
Whew.
I mean, I've had a lot of windy days and things like that. It literally blew the weather stripping that I put on the windows off.
Well,
That's stuck
listen,
onto
man.
it.
I know what's going to happen in the comments. I am not trying to tell you that
Sure.
everything is rosy, but do you know what made my day, Mark? And I did text you, but I was
you
not
mean the Jacob Sports?
Yes, if you listen to that Jacob Sports, Dan Saleo, ex NFL player, longtime player, has a show, local show. He brought it. He brings, other than Philly 500, he's the only non-football player he normally has on. Philly 500 goes on there, but he had he had, what's his name? What the hell was his name? He's anyway. He's a ex uh, offensive lineman that played for the Eagles, played for Tampa. Excuse me. And he was asked a question about Devin White.
Yeah.
He said Devin White, his first year, he's been in the year for 6 years.
Yeah.
Devin White, his first year was a good player. Outside of that, he's been a disappointment. And then on top of that, the Eagles are switching to a 3-4. And then Dan Saleo went and they ripped Devin White. There's no way Devin White can play in a 3-4. They ripped Huff, the defensive end that they got from the Jets, saying he is a 1 or 2 down player that's always hurt. After hearing that podcast today, it made me feel a lot better. These are not Eagle fans or anti-Eagles. This is an Eagles market. And they crapped on every move that the Eagles made. Instead of going out and getting Xavier McKinney because Howie didn't want to spend the money, he went and brought back C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who's not as good a player. Again, this isn't Game Time Brian. This is the local market. I sent Mark the video. It made me feel better because we all get caught up in the names. The Saquon Barkley, they crapped on him. And
I
was
definitely
right.
did on that one too.
And I told you, Mark, they should have brought. I don't care. All right, there is no more 3 down backs in the league. So if you're in a passing situation, you roll out your pass pro block. Everybody was saying, "Oh well, Swift couldn't pass pro, and Barkley is really good at pass protection." Okay, but he's also really good about being on the sideline, hurt because he's always hurt, and they shit on that move. So. Long story short, I was uplifted hearing the local radio and YouTube channels ripping almost every move that the Eagles made. So it makes me.
All right. I hear what you're saying, and I know
we're not that bad.
Part of the problem the Cowboys, and this is actually kind of unique. Actually, to think about this for a second, I know that everybody poo-poos on Dak Prescott, okay, and they say we need to get rid of him. But I'm just trying to think. How many quarterbacks in recent history got the bag and then were up for the bag again? You have to play really, really good to get the bag twice. You know what I'm saying? You know, we've had guys that have gotten the bag and then drop off the face of our earth. I don't know that Deshaun Watson will get a bag again like he got the first time. Do you? Right? I mean, Kyler Murray, he got the bag, and where's Kyler Murray going right now? There's been a lot of guys that got paid big-time money that they look at now and say, he needs to move on. The fact that Dak got the bag and for 3 years actually still played really well enough that you have to say, we got to pay this guy and have leverage he has, actually says a lot about the position that he's playing. And I still, you know, Stephen A. Smith was saying the Cowboys need to move on from Dak Prescott. And at this point, I'm sitting here thinking, if the Cowboys move on from Dak Prescott, aren't we the Commanders?
Yeah, pretty much. If you're going to put all your eggs in the Trey Lance basket, I'm getting a lot of replies to my videos saying, Jerry Jones is pissed. He's going to make Dak earn his next contract. Trey Lance is going to get every OTA rep. He's going to get all. Well, listen, Trey Lance needs all the reps just to be a backup in the league. Everybody forgets he hasn't done nothing in this league, nothing good in the league.
103 passes, and he's played in 4
so he
games.
needs all the reps, not to be the man to earn a roster spot. I mean, I understand he's going to be on the team, but to actually be, in order for that to be a successful trade, he at least has to be the backup. To me, if he's the third string, then that was a waste. You see what they're getting for quarterbacks. What did Justin Fields go for? A 6th?
Yeah.
We gave up 4 for a guy who. Yeah, I mean, come on, man. Our front.
Well, no, actually,
they're the Muppets.
Think about it this way. Hold on. We gave up a 5 for Brandon Cooks and a 5 for Stephon Gilmore 2 proven players, but we gave up a 4th for a team that spent 3 number ones and then some on that had a loaded roster that just said, sorry, we just want you to go.
And they jumped at it. And then what's going on now? People are protecting their draft picks, and I believe it's because of how the salary structure has shifted. There's some high salary positions, and that's going to take away from somebody. I think this is ultimately going to slow down a little bit. This whole quarterback market, I think it's going to slow down. I don't know if you heard. Did you hear that Dak, Tad Prescott says he sees Dak
as the number 2?
What's that?
As the number 2 quarterback in the NFL?
No, but he said he doesn't see Dak going anywhere. Tad talks out both sides of his mouth, but he said he don't see him playing.
Part of that same interview, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, everybody's getting all worked up over all this stuff. Listen, I'm not here to tell the people who think that we need to move on from Dak and we can't win a playoff game with Dak. I'm not here to argue with you or the people who say Dak has to be back. But the bottom line is he was the MVP runner-up 2 out of the last 3 years. Okay? That's a fact. His record in division is very, very good. I don't have the numbers in front of me. I want to say 23-7, something like that, since he's been a starter, something like that. It's pretty damn amazing, his divisional record. So I would just tell you the grass isn't always greener on the other side. Relax about the money, people. I've never seen a fan base, and I want you to get into it. I've never seen a fan base that gets the teams back when it comes to the salary cap. Please explain. I know you were talking about it earlier. How bad of a job our GM is doing, or at least in our eyes.
Okay, let me say this much. Okay, I want you to think about this for a second. The Chargers right now have $51 million in dead money for this season. Right? That means they had some messed up contracts. Right?
Yep.
Would you believe the Chargers are 4th most in cap space with $38 million?
And people say, well, they got rid of both of their receivers. I get that, but again.
Okay. All right. So the Eagles, how many people have the Eagles gotten rid of?
Gotten rid of?
Yeah.
Just a couple. Well, Kelsey retired.
Okay.
Cox retired, but they didn't bring back Swift. But there's,
they didn't let 16 free agents go out the door.
Oh no! They actually added 2.
All
we
right.
can get into we agree or not, but yeah,
they have $16 million in dead money like we do, but yet they've got still, and they've signed quite a few people. Whether I know you say that they're not necessarily as good as.
Well, again, I know that's a different conversation, but they went out and rolled the dice and put their money where their mouth is, bringing in talent
where they feel they were lacking.
Yeah, we could argue whether it's good or not, but who knows? But yeah,
but they still have $34 million, man.
$34 million, people. Drink it in.
Okay. We can talk about, the Denver Broncos. Now, they're probably going to have to take that they're going to get hit later. But the Denver Broncos still have $22 million. And they're getting rid of Russell Wilson. They literally are going to take the biggest cap hit in history.
In history, yep.
And they got $22 million.
So what is...
So I'm trying to understand how it is the Cowboys have... This is the one that really kills me. The New Orleans Saints were $73 million in the red about a month ago. And right now, they got more money than we do, $6.7 million.
Yeah.
So they somehow created
we have done nothing but lost, right? We haven't. We brought in one free agent outside of our team. I mean, we've re-signed a few, 3, right? We re-signed 3 guys. We re-signed our long snapper,
Jordan
4 guys: Jordan Lewis, C.J. Goodwin, and Rico Dowdle.
And we brought in Eric Kendricks.
Yeah.
So we've signed 5 people.
Yes. I mean,
we got 11 more spots to go.
All I would say is I believe our general manager, aka Catboy, or no, we all know he's a general manager. Come on now. Stephen Jones, Catboy, general manager Jerry Jones, but he doesn't do anything except put out all in BS that clearly, I don't know what, all of a sudden now all in meaning, I had somebody email me today, all in meant bring back their three core guys. I said, they haven't even done that yet. They haven't gotten any of them done. Micah hasn't been
That's
done,
another
which
thing that
we
drives me
know he
crazy.
probably won't be done until next offseason.
Why?
CD hasn't been done,
Why are we waiting?
and Dak hasn't been done.
Why are we waiting?
So, okay. So you're telling me that you're prioritizing that. Why do we have to wait till August?
That's what I'm
Why
trying to
is
understand.
that? And now you're telling me that all these teams that were in cap hell, we're talking 70, $80 million people, stop getting this, the Dallas Cowboys and having their back. They do this to themselves and they want you to have sympathy for them about the cap. You don't get it. Do your job. Do your job, Stephen Jones. You're not doing your job right because you don't know how to structure contracts, or more importantly, the timing of your contracts sucks. Okay? Other teams know what they're doing.
Okay, let's think about. Let's look at this a different way. Let's see. Teams right now, the Chargers with 38 million, they locked up their quarterback Justin Herbert, right? The
Right.
Eagles, they locked up Jalen Hurts. They got $34 million, right? The Bengals, the highest contract in the history of football, didn't they lock up their quarterback?
Yes, they did.
They have
Joe
$30
Burrow.
million right there. So let's see, where are the Ravens? Now, the Ravens have been busy in free agency. They, too, also have a $50 million quarterback plus, and they have $14 million. So how is it we have quarterbacks that are making 11 plus million more than the Cowboys quarterback, and they all have more cap room than the Cowboys that signed a guy to 40 million?
I think it's all the dead money. If you ask me,
we only have
because
16 million in debt this year, as opposed to the
Then-
Chargers that have 51.
it's absolutely
The Buccaneers have 42.
mind-boggling that
The
we're in this
Panthers have
situation. It's
46.
bad management. It's bad management by our front office. Oh. Now we're in a position where, okay, finish your thought.
Oh no, I'm just listening because you said, because like even the Packers have 46 million in dead money. The Raiders have 24. I was saying that the Chargers have 51, and the Titans.
They're going to
have
tell you,
39.
well, we draft well, so we like paying our own. But
Do we?
like I said, nobody else has got the bag, right? I mean,
Okay, so
It's
let's go back to that real quick. Okay, I know you've got a show at 8:00, don't you?
yeah, it's coming up.
Okay, so
We got time.
So hypothetically, we're going to rely on the draft and our free agency like boost because of Overshown, Diggs, and who else did we say is coming back for injury?
Well, you got Fahoko, who was out
Fiocco,
all year with injury.
Okay. So we're going to get that boost. And then we're going to get our draft picks from last year boost of Mozzie Smith, who had better pro football focused numbers than
yes,
Hankins.
then yeah, I mean,
and does that mean
yes.
that Schoonmaker is going to be a capable starter?
yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So
I mean, just think. Well, go ahead. Yes.
Okay. So I'm just going back to that 2020 draft. So you got CeeDee Lamb, who had 900 yards. Diggs was pretty good. He didn't really take off, though, to his second year. Neville Gallimore, which was, he had a few plays here and there. Reggie Robinson, that didn't do anything. Biotish, who was a plug-in starter right away. Bradley and Ben
Gone.
DiNucci.
Gone.
So you looked at that and said, we got three starters out of that draft. Actually, that draft was actually pretty good for us. And Neville Gallimore is a part-time player. By my typical ratings, that was a good one. 2021, you got Micah Parsons, who was your impact player day one. Boss Man Fat.
Yeah, he gone.
Osa Ndigazua, part-time player, role player, was pretty good. Chauncey
Yeah, I like.
Golston hardly got on the field. Nashawn Wright didn't really help you that much that year. Josh Ball, Jabril Cox, Semi
Oh,
Fioco, Quentin
yes.
Bohannon, Israel Mahanaku, one of your guys, and Matt
McQuamo,
Fornier.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
of
Fournier.
that, you got one starter out of that draft and two part-time. Oh no, two part-time players, right?
Yes.
Okay. Then if we go to 2022, what did we get? We got Tyler Smith, impact player, day one,
Yes.
fantastic. Sam Williams, part-time
Big year.
starter.
Big year for Sam. Got all the
Jalen
talent in the
Tolbert,
world.
his rookie year, that was ass.
Who?
Jalen Tolbert.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Jake Ferguson, I think he had about 300 yards receiving. It wasn't
He had
bad.
500 yards receiving as a rookie, and he had like 500. I think like 3 or 4 touchdowns or
Yeah.
5 touchdowns.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then you had Matt Lewinsky.
he's been injured on both shoulders.
You had Deron Bland, of course. You know, he
Unbelievable 5th round pick.
yeah.
Unbelievable. Leads
Okay.
leads the league in
But we're
interceptions
talking about
since
his
his.
rookie year now. He was good. I mean, he wasn't as good as
He
he
had
was.
five. He had 5 interceptions his rookie year,
Okay.
and he only played in 11
Damone
games.
Clark, who gave us some spot duty coming off of the back injury. John Ridgway, who we lost during the season, and Devin Harper. So you got
Gone.
day one impact guy. So you're saying Deron Bland was a starter. Jake
Yeah,
Ferguson
he's
was
a
a starter.
starter now.
So two starters, three starters, and one being an impact guy.
Remember, he didn't get on the field until like game 5 or 6 due to injury, and then when he did,
Okay, so
he
looking
took
at
off.
this, do I need to go over last year's draft?
Well, I have it right here.
I mean,
We
I
got
got it right here in
Mozzie.
front of me.
Yeah.
But you
All
got
right, go ahead.
Mozzie, who was a part-time player, Schoonmaker, who was injured most of the time,
Yes.
Overshown, injured, Fioco, injured, Asim Richards.
That's the one. That's the one. If you remember when they kept bringing Edoga in, I'm like, we need to see Asim Richards for precisely what happened. We moved on.
Uh-huh.
I'm tiring and still don't know.
Okay.
And that was, I had a problem. I don't know who, if I had to guess, it was McCarthy. Did not want to go with Asim Richards. He
Okay.
was a good player, played against good talent at the University of North Carolina and held his own. He needed to be the guy playing last year when Tyron got hurt. Okay, everybody acts like Tyron, you lost Tyron. He still only played 13 games, and everybody's saying, and that's the most that he's played in quite some
That's what I
time.
said. He's averaged 7.5 games this season. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
And so the rest of that draft was Deuce Vaughn and
well,
Jalen Brooks.
here's the problem. You're forgetting we had a 6th round pick that we traded at 5th this year to move up, Eric Scott Jr., who never got on the field because of Dan Quinn.
Okay.
So Eric Scott Jr., who was killing it in preseason, never got a sniff. Okay, we were playing Noah Igbenogany over Eric Scott Jr. How bad could he have been? He looked
Okay.
good in training camp. So again, there's a lot of good names. And go ahead, you got a Deuce Vaughn and Jalen Brooks.
Yeah. So my point being is, on a good year, we're getting like 3 starters, one being an impact.
Yeah,
We got a lot of
forget.
spots. What?
we had T.J. Bass and Hunter Lepke, who were. I mean, I have the whole list here, but T.J. Bass, who's going to be a starter this year and played really good in his spot duty last year. He was a free agent after the draft, as well as Hunter Lepke, who, he had to
Okay.
fumble at the goal line. He's a young player. He showed a lot of promise. So it wasn't all that bad last year. When you really look into it, you take the injuries aside, I get it. Production on the surface wasn't well, but we could easily look in 2 years from now and say, wow, that was a decent draft. We got 3 starters.
So basically,
right?
so let me make sure I get this straight now, because I'm saying
I'm trying to get everybody off the ledge.
what you're saying is we're going to get a free agency like boost of young, talented players
yes,
that need to get an opportunity.
Didn't I say before? I believe I said it last year. I like going young because energy, it's youth. We don't know what you don't have. Sam Williams, he gets an opportunity to be unleashed. Either he's going to shit the bed, excuse my language, or he's going to step up. We don't know, but that's exciting. We know what we were getting with Armstrong, a good player, rotational player, was never going to make a Pro Bowl. Now, he may have, don't get me wrong, I understand he had a blocked punt and a blocked field goal. He was very steady Eddie. I get it. But he's not a special person. Okay. I mean, the player. So Sam Williams is an absolute beast of an athlete that needs to get his head on right. And let's hope that Mike Zimmer, who's probably salivating looking at him on tape, saying, let me get a hold of this kid. I'm
Okay.
excited for that. Aren't you, Mark?
I'm excited for something. I'm just I just feel like I've been hanging on a flagpole with these 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts that we've been having
Yeah,
today.
tell me about it. I'm still a
and
little
just whipping
chilly.
around. So all right, so I'm going to go ahead and get this thing ended here because I know you and
It's not all that
Primetime
bad,
Phil
people.
are
It's
going to
not
be
all
doing
that
your
bad.
thing. So
But they got to get
everybody,
their act together.
everybody, definitely check out my man Game Time Brian. He is putting in the work and he is bringing it to you, and he has talked me off the ledge more than once. And we will be doing a little over a month from now, a month and 4 days.
We'll be ripping their
We'll
ass when
be
they reach for somebody.
pause.
Pause. I'll be all over Catboy and I don't know. I'm gonna have fun. Let's hope that they do the right thing. I'm gonna just right before we go, I'm gonna lay it out here. I think they do something they haven't done in years. I think they trade out of the first round. Do you like that, Mark? Are you gonna be excited about that? They're gonna go from 24 to like 28, and then they're gonna go from like 28 to like 36 or something. And we're gonna get our like a 3 and a 4 back. So
Okay.
get ready. Get
All
ready.
right.
And I would
Well,
like
we'll
that
see.
because where the meat of this
But
draft
then if they
is
trade out of the first
is-
round, then our first night at the draft is not going to be.
But then that second day, it'd be bang, bang,
boy.
bang, bang. So I don't know.
Bang,
They're
bang.
definitely trading back line.
All
bang,
right,
bang.
man. Everybody, definitely check out my man Game Time Brian. We got to get him